In 2014, I started Silver Icing in this exact basement, and now we barely have enough room for our fitness equipment. We grew to a team of 12 people before we finally moved into our first warehouse. People often ask me how I got started in the fashion industry. Well, that's a long story. Silver Icing is actually my second clothing company. My first clothing company was focused on retail, and honestly, retail sucked. Our rent was $10,000 a month, let alone all the staff costs, electricity, etc. I knew there must be a better way. So much of what we sold out of those stores was going into the hands of one landlord. What if we were able to take the money that we were spending on things like rent and redistribute it back into the hands of women across the country instead? And that's exactly what we did. We created the first social retail site where you get to shop online, but instead of having to interact with a stranger or a bot, you get to interact with a real human being from your community, your Silver Icing stylist. Stylists became mini store-like representations across the country, and we built the technology to support them. By going virtual, the stylist doesn't have to invest in any inventory, and they don't have to incur any overhead. The customer gets a trusted personal relationship offering valuable fit advice that's just typically impossible to find online. It's hard to sum Silver Icing up in a few sentences because we're a company that focuses on a lot of things. Inspiring confidence, women empowerment, building community, but there's one thing that connects us all. Is our love for clothes. We launch a new item every day, 7 days a week. We call it our daily pre-sale, which equals a lot of clothes and a lot of work to get it here. Take this top, for example. Let's take a look at how it gets from design to delivery. It all starts with a sample. Now there's lots of different ways that we bring products in, but with this particular tank, we did what's called a collaboration, which is one of my favorite ways. It's when we work directly with a supplier or a brand to develop a custom piece. Now I'd love to tell you that first samples are always perfect, but if you talk to some of our suppliers, I'm pretty sure they'd tell you we're a little high maintenance because we're hyper-focused on making sure these pieces meet our requirements for fit, quality, and style. Once we've made all of our changes and that final sample has passed our tests, we're ready for production. This is when we issue our purchase order, where we narrow down the colorways we're going to offer and finalize the quantities. A lot of people wonder how we decide exactly how much we're going to bring in, and this could easily be one of the hardest parts of our entire business. We look at things like how well similar items have sold in the past, how attractive the price point is, whether the trend is being forecasted, and when all else fails, we turn to our crystal ball.
She's wearing a polka dot dress.
Because at the end of the day, it's just an educated guess. When the photo shoot samples arrive, they are brought up to the sample room for planning. Once a week, the buying team gets together to review the available options, and from there, the following week's schedule is created. This process can sometimes take hours because there are many different factors to consider. We look at each week as a whole and try to balance different price points with a mixture of new and repeat items and the order in which we launch them. Once the schedule is finalized, marketing takes over. This is when the product gets created, named, and descriptions get written. How we represent our products visually is very important to us, which is why we use a combination of lifestyle, studio, and hanger shots. Lifestyle conveys the emotion, studio provides the angles, and hanger shots give you the details. And after all these components get put together, we end up with our daily presale. At 2 p.m., we set our clocks and the countdown to going live begins.
It must be awfully important, like a party or something.
22 hours later, orders are placed and our warehouse gets to work. It all starts with a barcode that's specific to us and unique to every item, and it gets applied during the receiving process. This barcode allows us to track each piece through the warehouse and ensures order accuracy. Once we've tagged all the products, we're ready for picking. In a typical warehouse environment, product would be received and stored on shelves before they sell, but we aren't typical. which is why our in-house development team built all of our warehouse technology from scratch. Because of how we launch pre-sales and how quickly they sometimes sell out, our system tracks orders down to the second and uses that information to ensure they get picked fairly in the order in which they are placed. The system produces the orders, identifying the items required for our team to pick. They gather those items, scan them into a bin before sending them on their way to packing. At this stage, our system tells our packers how to organize each order, scanning for accuracy before sealing each package. Your order is now verified. Next up, our shipping department. Remember when I said we build all of our systems from scratch? That's because the needs of our customers influence every aspect of our operation, and this could not be more evident than within our shipping department. Back in the day when we were in my basement and we started launching pre-sales every day, an interesting thing started to happen. We were getting calls from customers who would say, I just bought yesterday's pre-sale and then I got the email for today's pre-sale and I love it too. If I order it, is there any way you can ship one order with the other so I don't have to pay for 2 shipping charges? So we created a program called ShipWith, where we would combine orders for customers and ship them out together. This program proved to be very popular, and ultimately it was the inspiration behind EchoShip, which has been one of our most beneficial and innovative programs we have ever created. Like clockwork, EchoShip is a box that ships once a week, where orders are consolidated and sent directly to the stylist, allowing them to become a local pickup point for their customers so they can offer free shipping. But the benefit doesn't stop there. To give you an example, before Echo, we identified that there was a stylist who had averaged over 50 shipments a month. Individual shipments to her house. That's more than one a day. After Echo, we were able to consolidate all of those packages into 4 deliveries, 1 a week for the entire month, making it much easier to receive, track, and manage. Not only is this a convenient program for both our stylists and our customers, it also has a positive impact on reducing our carbon footprint. As they scan each package, the system tells them what to do next. ShipWith orders get filed into the ShipWith wall, Echo orders get placed into their Echo boxes, and everything else gets a shipping label and sent out the door. When that email notification hits your inbox, a rush of excitement and anticipation floods in. It's our hope that when you pick up your Silver Icing package, you know you are receiving so much more than just clothes. Behind the scenes, every step, every touch, every person has a purpose. We are a symphony of humans and technology working together to bring you the Silver Icing experience.